Welcome back to my channel, dear students. So today we will go to the next exercise on solving simple problems on quadratic equations. So we'll see exercise 6b today. The first question says, the sides of a right angled triangle containing the right angle are 4x centimeter and 2x minus 1 centimeter. Okay, so let's try to understand this using a figure. Okay, so this is a right angled triangle, and according to the question, the sides of a right angled triangle containing right angle. So containing right angle means the sides which are making 90-degree angle. Okay, so the sides which are making 90-degree angle are 4x centimeter and 2x minus 1 centimeter. So the same has been shown in the diagram also. Okay, so 4x centimeter and 2x minus 1. So these two are making 90-degree angle. Now let us see the rest part. If the area of the triangle, is 30 centimeters squared, calculate the length of its sides. Okay, so that means I need to calculate what is my AB, what is my BC, and what is my AC. Okay, so let's begin the problem. Now we know that area is given by half into base into height. Yes, so we have area of the triangle to be 30 centimeters square, and area of triangle can be written as half into base into height, right? So if this is my base, if BC is my base, then obviously this AB has to be my height. Yes, so that's why it will be, area will be half into 2x minus 1, that is base, into height, that is 4x. So this also gives me area. So instead of this area of triangle, I am writing half into 4x into 2x minus 1. Okay, so let us simplify this. So the simplification part you are already aware of. So after simplification, you will arrive at this one in the left hand side. Okay, and at last you will arrive at this quadratic equation. Okay, now our job is to find the value of x by solving this equation. Fine, so you already know how to solve this. Okay, so if you factorize, you will get this much, and the values for x will be 3 and minus 5 by 2. Okay, now obviously I cannot take the negative answer because x gives me the length, right? So we cannot use the value to be minus 5 by 2, then obviously the value for x will be 3. Okay, so x cannot be negative, so that's why x is 3. So let us put the values of x here. Now therefore my AB is going to be 4x, that is 4 into 3. Similarly we'll find what is BC. Okay, so we'll find BC in the same way. Then we'll get AB equals to 12 and BC will be 5 centimeter. Okay, so we have got AB and BC. Now our aim is to find AC, and this will be founded using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so Pythagoras theorem gives me AC or CA to be 13 centimeter. Okay, now let's have a look at the next question. So question says, the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 26 centimeters. So again they are talking about a right angle triangle, and here the hypotenuse is given to be 26 centimeter. Okay, and the sum of the other two sides is 34 centimeter. That means if I add this and this, I'll get 34 centimeter. Okay, so that's why if I call one of the sides to be x centimeter, if this is my x centimeter, then obviously it has to be 34 minus x, right? Okay, so you need to find the length of the other side. So whatever is given, I have just noted down. So the sum of the other two sides is 34 centimeter. Okay, now this is one of the other two sides. Okay, so let one of the other two sides be x centimeter. Then obviously other has to be 34 minus x, right? So using Pythagoras theorem, I have hypotenuse square equals to this square plus this square, right? So if I use that Pythagoras theorem, so my hypotenuse is 26, so hypotenuse square equals to x square plus 34 minus x whole square, right? So this is your Pythagoras theorem. So you open the bracket, apply a minus b whole square formula, and arrive at your quadratic equation, right? So all these have been shown. You just verify by yourself. So finally your quadratic equation is going to be this much. So as I said from the previous lecture, if you see anything common, you can take that outside and you can divide both sides by the same number. So similarly, I can see that 2 can be taken as common, so that's why I will divide both sides by 2. Okay, so after dividing both sides by 2, I'll get this much. Okay, now you use your quadratic equation formula or you apply midterm breaking, then you will arrive at this one and your solutions. That means the value for x will be 10 and 24. Okay, so let's check what happens when x is 10. Okay, so when x is 10, when this is 10, then this has to be 34 minus 10, that is 24, right? Okay, now if this is 24, then it has to be 34 minus 24, that is 10. Okay, so that's why when x is 10, then 34 minus x will be 24, and when x is 24, then 34 minus x will be 10. So that's why the lengths of the sides, three sides, are 10 centimeter. One is 10 centimeter. Okay, another has to be 24 centimeter, and hypotenuse is already given to be 26 centimeter, right? So pause the video to note down. So the next problem is there, so you will try this by yourself. Okay, so similar problem I am going to do next. Okay, so again it's related to your right angle triangle. So in this case, the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle exceeds by 1 centimeter, exceeds one side by 1 centimeter. Okay, so there's a right angle triangle and hypotenuse is one more than one of the sides remaining. Okay, and the other side by 18 centimeter. So find the length of the sides of the triangle. So here what happening is, there's a right angle triangle. Okay, and you know that the hypotenuse will be the longest side, yes or no? Okay, so since my hypotenuse is the longest side, the remaining other two sides will be shorter than the hypotenuse. And according to the question, among those two, one is 1 centimeter less than the hypotenuse and other one is 18 centimeter less than the hypotenuse. Okay, so that's why if I take my hypotenuse to be x, then one of the side has to be x minus 1 and another will be x minus 18 centimeter. Is that clear? So let one hypotenuse of the triangle be x centimeter. Okay, so from the given information, length of one side will be x minus 1 and the other one will be x minus 18 centimeter. Fine. So again we'll make use of Pythagoras theorem, and Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse square, that is x square, will be equals to the squares of the remaining sides and add them, that is x minus 1 whole square plus x minus 18 whole square, right? Simplify this and arrive at this quadratic equation, right? Solve it, you will get the factorization part to be this much. So that's why the values for x will be 13 and 25. Fine. So when x is equals to 13, let's see what happens. Okay, so when x is 13, so when x is 18, so 13, there are two values, that's 13 and 25. So when x is 13, then the other side has to be, one of the side has to be x minus 13, x minus 18. That is, when x is 13, then it will becomes 13 minus 18, which is minus 5. So one of the side is turning to be a negative one, which is not possible. So that's why the possible value for x will be 25. Okay, so when x is 25, then the x is 25 means my hypotenuse is 25, because x represents the length of hypotenuse. So when my hypotenuse is 25, the other ones has to be, one is 1 less, that is 24 centimeter, and other has to be 18 centimeter less, that is 7 centimeter, right? So the lengths of the sides of the triangle are 25, 24 and 7 centimeter. So pause the video to note down. The diagonal of a rectangle is 60 more than its shortest side, and the largest side is 30 meter more than the shortest sides. Find the size of the rectangle. So it might be quite difficult for you to understand the question, so let's make a diagram here. So according to question, if this is my rectangle, then this becomes my longer side, this becomes my shorter side, and this becomes my diagonal. Okay, so according to the question, the diagonal of a rectangle is 60 meter more than its shorter side. So this is my shorter side. Okay, so if I take this to be x, then the diagonal will be x 60 more, that is, it will be plus 60. Okay, so x plus 60 gives me the diagonal if x is the shorter side. Okay, and the larger side is 30 more than the shorter side. Okay, that means if shorter side is x, then the larger side, that is this one, has to be 30 more. So that's why it will be x plus 30. And remember, in your rectangle, this angle is always 90 degree. So basically here also you'll find a right angled triangle. Okay, so we'll apply again Pythagoras theorem, where this diagonal gives me the hypotenuse. Okay, so let's see. So let x be the shorter side, length of the other side will be x plus 30, and length of the diagonal will be x plus 60 meter, right? Okay, so using Pythagoras theorem, so as I said, the diagonal, that is this one, gives me the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square equals to perpendicular square plus base square. Is that clear? Okay, now arrive at this by yourself. Open the bracket properly, do proper simplification, you'll arrive at this. Okay, and the sum will be completed by yourself. Is that clear? Okay, let's go to the next problem. Okay, so here the perimeter of a rectangle is 104 centimeter. I hope all of you are familiar with perimeter area formula of rectangle, right? So if you are familiar with those formula, then only you will be able to solve this. Okay, so the perimeter of a rectangle is 104 centimeter and its area is 640 meter square. So you need to find the length and breadth. Okay, so length and breadth, I am considering them to be x and y meter. Now perimeter is given to be 104, and formula for perimeter is this one, right? 2 into L plus B gives me perimeter for rectangle. Okay, and this is equals to how much? This is 104, right? So instead of perimeter, I am writing 104, and this is equals to 2 into x plus y. So if I take this 2 down there in the denominator, I'll get x plus y equals to 52. 104 divided by 2 is 52. Now from here, y is equals to 52 minus x, right? Okay, now again one more thing is given which we have not used till now, that is area. So area is given to be 640 meter. Now area formula for rectangle is length into breadth, and what is length? It is x, and breadth is y. So it will be x into y, that is xy. Okay, so xy also gives me the area for rectangle. Okay, so therefore xy is equals to 640, and just now we saw that y is equals to 52 minus x. So instead of this y, I am writing 52 minus x. Then open the bracket, then you'll arrive at this quadratic equation. Fine, solve it. The values for x will be 32 and 20. Is that clear? Now let's see what happens when x is 32, and let's see what happens when x is 20. So when x is 32, then the value for y will be 52 minus 32, that is 20. Okay, similarly when x is 20, the value of y will be 32. So that's why the length and breadth are 32 centimeter and 20 centimeter. So pause the video to note down. Okay, so let's have a look at this question. So we have a footpath of uniform width runs round the inside of a rectangular field, 32 meter long and 24 meter wide. Okay, so there's a rectangular field whose length is 32 meter and whose breadth is 24 meter. Okay, and within that rectangular field there's a path. Okay, there's a path whose width is uniform. Okay, so let's understand this using this diagram. So this is my rectangular field, and this one, so this one gives me the uniform width path. Okay, and here I am going to consider the width to be W. Okay, so you can consider X also, that's your choice. Okay, so here I am taking the width to be W. Okay, so let's see what happens. So question says, from here to here, this is my length of the rectangular part, so its length is 32 meter. Okay, and 24 meter is the breadth, that is this one. Okay, so breadth is given to be 24 meter and length is given to be 32 meter for the park. Now area of the path is given to be 208 meter. Okay, so only this part is given to be 208 meter square, right? So you need to find the width of the footpath, that means you need to find W. Okay, so as I said, let W be the width of the path. Now let's try to understand what is happening here. Okay, so let's pay attention carefully, very carefully. We know that from here to here is 32, right? We also know that from here to here is 24, but we need to know this as well, right? Okay, so let's calculate how much is this. Now from here to here is, from here to here is the width, that is W. From here to here also is W, right? So W plus this plus W gives me 32, yes or no? Yes. So that's why if I remove from 32, if I remove this much part, this much, okay, so this much part and this much part is from here to here, it is W, and similarly from here to here is W. Okay, so if I remove this W and this W, that is together it is 2W, then I'll get this much, yes or no? Okay, so that's why from here to here is 32, and from 32 if I remove 2 W's, that is 32 minus 2W gives me the length of the inner rectangle. Okay, similarly from here to here is W, and from here to here is also W, so together from here to here is 24. So from this 24 if I remove this much and this much, then I'll get this one. Yes, so 24 minus W minus W, that is 24 minus 2W gives me the width of the inner rectangle. Is that clear? And we need to find the area of path. Yes, and we are already aware from mensuration that area of this path is found using area of outer rectangle minus area of this inner rectangle. If I remove this part from this rectangle, then I'll be left with only this part, which is area of my path. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say here. So area of the path, as I said, will be equal to area of outer rectangle minus area of inner rectangle. Now what is area of the path? Area of the path is given to be 208. Now let us see what is area of outer rectangle. So our area of outer rectangle is length into breadth, and what is length? It is 32, and what is breadth? It is 24. So it will be 32 into 24, right? So minus is there, minus area of inner rectangle. So again length into breadth, so that is 32 minus 2W into 24 minus 2W. So this gives me the area of inner rectangle. Okay, solve it, open the bracket, and you'll arrive at this quadratic equation. Okay, factorize it and find the value of W, which turns out to be 26 and 2. Okay, so let's check the different values for W. So when W is 26, the breadth of inner rectangle, so that is this one, is going to become 24 minus 2W. So W is 26, so that's why 2W will be 52. So 24 minus 52 is minus 28, negative 1, right? So we omit the negative part because the breadth cannot be negative, right? So we will omit this, so that's why the value for W will be 2. Okay, so whenever W is 2, let's see what happens. So if my W is 2, then it becomes 24 minus 2 into 2, that is 4, which is 20, which is positive quantity. So that's why my width has to be 22 not 26. Okay, so that's why the width of the footpath is going to be 2 meter. Okay, so pause the video to note down.